To this now, police are trying to unravel a mystery in Berks County. Who killed this family? A woman and her 1-year-old son found dead just outside the city days after the body of the woman's husband was discovered. NBC 10 Shayera area spoke to the victim's family, pleading for help.
Officials tell us that the victims were last seen in this apartment complex here in Redding, where they lived. We spoke to their family in Dominican Republic. They tell us that they knew that something was terribly wrong when they could not get a hold of them for days.
We spent 9 days literally doing every type of research. We thought they were missing, like my cousin might be scared. We had some hope.
But that hope shattered. A Dominican family living in Redding vanished, and after days of searching, their story ended in tragedy. Police confirmed 31-year-old Geraldina Peguero Mancebo, her husband, 32-year-old Junior Cabrera Colon, and their son, 1-year-old Jaden Jr. Peguero, were all found murdered in Berks County. Tonight, Geraldina's cousin in the Dominican Republic, distraught, spoke to us.
She didn't mess with nobody. She didn't, have fights. She was like the person that, so like the biggest heart. You need something, and she was gonna be there for you.
The investigation began on September 12th, when the family was first reported missing. The next day, Redding police found Junior's body on River Road, shot in the head. A week later, on September 19th, Geraldina's body was found in a grassy field in Ontaluni Township. The following day, police located baby Jaden's remains, partially submerged in a swampy area near his mother's body. All 3 deaths have been ruled homicides. Police say Jose Luis Rodriguez, a family friend, confessed to killing Junior, and detectives say his confession led them to Geraldina and her son.
I want to give this type of calling. Gotta be careful with the people you let in your house.
They tell us the couple moved to the U.S. over 2 years ago in search of a better life. Now they're hoping to fly their bodies back home to the Dominican Republic, where Geraldina and Junior leave behind 3 children.
There's 3 lives that completely family that have no parents right now. If you can send some type of help, prayers to the whole family.
No one has yet been charged for Geraldina and her 1-year-old son's murder. More information is expected to be released from the Berks County District Attorney's Office in the next following days. In Redding, Pennsylvania, Shayera Arias, NBC 10 News.
What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with a tragic, informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful Monday. I'm doing well myself, and I hope you had a very, very nice, relaxing weekend. You know what I always say about that, they go just too fast, okay? Over the weekend, I come across this tragic story right here that took place in Pennsylvania about, what was last month, back in September, somewhere around on the 19th, where you had a family. Life was a complete family. To the right over here, life was tragically just taken, snuffed out, by the hands of this Jose Rodriguez to your left right here, okay? The family here, the names are Geraldine Peguero Mancebo and Julia Cabrera Colon, okay? And the little baby, you know what I'm saying, Jaden, life tragically taken. Now, as you saw in the story right there, that they said that a family friend had something to do with it, okay? Well, it turned out to be that, this man, Jose Rodriguez, was no friend of the family, okay? What he was, as the articles have it, he was a 61-year-old sugar daddy to the lady here, okay? That's what it was. And basically the reason why he took this woman's life, her child's life, and her husband's life, or boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, is because she had been taking money from him. As a matter of fact, they had worked together. They met last year sometime in a warehouse. They never really said what warehouse, but rumors says it's some UPS warehouse somewhere, okay? And basically, she started tricking with the man, and basically taking his money. But Rodriguez here wanted more. What he wanted from her was that he wanted her to leave her husband for him, And she kept saying that she would, but she drug her foot about doing. She really didn't want to leave her husband for him, okay? So basically what it all boils down to, this woman right here got herself and her husband, her child, took out by being greedy and low-life and tricking. And that's basically what it boils down to. Before I go any further, what I want us to do, though, is check out this particular article that sheds more light on the situation. Then we'll complete the commentary.
At 5, a man is now charged with killing a woman and her 1-year-old baby boy. The Berks County District Attorney announcing additional murder charges against 61-year-old Jose Rodriguez. He'd previously been charged with killing the victim's husband, Junior Cabrera Colon. Investigators laying out the horrific timeline before each member of the family is killed. This is the 5 o'clock news. I'm Jason Martinez, and we do want to warn you, these details are just incredibly upsetting and hard to hear. But you may remember the mother and son were reported missing earlier this month, and then just days later, their bodies were found. Kelly, you were there for today's painful announcement. What are you learning?
Yeah, Jason, that's right. Extremely painful to hear. That investigators did say today this is still an active investigation, but did say there was some sort of intimate relationship between the defendant and one of the 3 victims, and clearly something went wrong. The DA said the defendant did confess to all 3 murders. He called this case extremely difficult and said they are looking at possibly pursuing the death penalty.
Unfortunately, in our jobs, we deal with bad things all the time. This is a different level.
For the first time, the Berks County District Attorney outlining the horrific timeline of the murders of 31-year-old Junior Cabrera Colon, his wife, 31-year-old Geraldina Peguero Manciba, and their 1-year-old son, Jaden Junior Peguero, allegedly at the hands of 61-year-old Jose Rodriguez. The DA says he confessed to all 3 murders.
The loss of life of these adults that were killed was unnecessary. The loss of life of that 1-year-old was cruel. It was horrible.
The DA's office announced the arrest of Rodriguez for the murder of Junior last week. Investigators say he was shot in the head, found early on September 13th in the brush along River Road in Bear Park, where there is now a growing memorial.
That is the investigation that started all of this, the finding of the body in Bear Park. But it was actually the last murder that he committed.
The DA says Reading police learned that no one had heard from Junior's wife and their 1-year-old son since the day before, September 12th. Cell phone records led them to an access road off East Holler Lane in Ontalani Township, where they found Geraldina's body, and days later, not far away, they found Jaden in a shallow pond. The DA says Rodriguez and Geraldina had some sort of intimate relationship, meeting at least a year ago when they worked in a warehouse together, and he was infuriated that she would not leave her husband and was taking his money. The DA says Rodriguez admitted to picking Geraldina and Jaden up on September 12th with the intention to kill her, and that he shot Geraldina once in the back of the head and threw Jaden in nearby muddy water.
I can't imagine anything more horrifying than throwing that 1-year-old child into that pond of water, and that child is left there to die.
Rodriguez allegedly told investigators he shot Junior near his last listed address on Center Avenue when Junior confronted him about his involvement with Geraldina.
Mr. Rodriguez had no prior criminal history, so something happened. No matter what, no one deserved to die.
The DA said today investigators recovered substantial video evidence as well as physical evidence that Rodriguez actually led them to, including a gun, as well as some of Geraldina's belongings. Now, Rodriguez told investigators he acted alone, but part of their active and ongoing investigation is to determine if anybody else was involved. Jason.
Kelly Gruhl there. Thank you very much, Kelly.
Okay. Well, you know what? I hope that they do seek the death penalty for Jose Rodriguez. Okay, look, you knew what you were getting into when you start, dealing with this chick right here. You knew what it was all about. You could have easily just said, well, hey, if you ain't gonna leave your husband or whatever, you know what I mean? Well, I'm gonna end this relationship. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be just giving my money away. You see, whatever. And just went on about your life. You see what I'm saying? But no, what you did, even worse than that. You know, whatever you decide to do with the woman, I really don't care. At this point, I have no sympathy for the woman, period. Okay? Because she put not only her life in danger and caused, you know, her life to be taken by a fool. You see what I'm saying? But also her husband and her baby. You see what I'm talking about? See, when you open the door for the devil, you never know what is going to happen. But you can always expect the worst. You see what I mean? And being her greed for the almighty dollar in her hands. I mean, you know, to get in her hands, you know what I'm saying? Now she's caused the life of her whole entire family to be just taken just like that. Just like a lot of people do. A lot of women are out here playing games like this, opening the door for the devil for a bag. You see? And that's the reason why I say I have no sympathy for the loss of her life at all. Now, for her husband and her son, well, you know, I really, really do feel bad for that, for them. I really do. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main reason why I think Jose Rodriguez should get the death penalty quick. I mean, why not? You know, he admitted to the crime of taking 3 lives. You see what I mean? Especially 2 that were innocent. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, really, what's the hold up that where you got to wait and put his ass on death row for 20 or 30 years, and then all of a sudden one day, well, you come and get him? No. Go ahead and put him where he need to go. You see, that's the way I look at it, you know. Word of caution, a warning for you women out there that's on the make for the bag. You understand what I'm saying? You can use this right here as an example. This particular case right here. Just because you get a man that's got money, you understand, don't mean that you are going to live to spend that money that man has been giving you. He's going to want something from you. And it's more than just your ass that you offer him. If you understand what I'm saying. Then all of a sudden you start reneging on that too. Guess what's going to happen? Anything's liable to it. And in this case, anything did. It's just so happens that it was something just so tragic. You know, and then this fool right here, Jose Rodriguez, had the nerve to take the man's life when he came and confronted him about whatever relationship is going on with him and his wife. And you gonna kill him. I mean, come on, man. That's the reason why I say you really, really need the death penalty. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what nobody say. They do. You know what I mean? He do. You know, because the woman has already been put to death for her treachery. It, like I said, it's just a shame that her husband and her baby had to pay for it. But back to the women out here that's on the make for the bag. Judgment is going out to and fro through this earth, and the Most High is not playing. So if you are in any kind of profession of harlotry, hoeing, you know what I'm saying, sneaking around on your man's back and all that old kind of stuff, guess what? You better stop. You better stop. You better get it together. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm sure if your man, if he knew you was doing something like this, hell, it could have went down from him doing you. It could have. Or at least he could have said, you either stop this shit or we through. Or just walk out on your ass altogether. This man right here, Cabrera, he never got that chance. Why? Because the woman was snaking on the real. You see? That's all I got on this one, people. You know, I've said more than I can really, really go deep on this, but that's all I got on this one, people. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular story right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.